Once again, good afternoon. John Verlin with you with On-Demand Advertising Solutions and a Digital Marketing Update podcast number 91. Sarah in Lenexa, Kansas sent me an email a few weeks ago I wanted to get to. I promised her I would talk about this on the podcast, and that is she comments about she's been listening to a number of my podcasts, likes them, is curious as to why I started doing podcasting, because a lot of marketing firms, she says, are really, focusing on search engine optimization, Facebook, geofencing, I'm sorry, I lost my place here, and a number of other optimizing features, and asked why I'm doing this, and she's noticed other firms haven't. And it's really because, and I want to, it actually dovetails beautifully into a post I saw a few days ago on Entrepreneur by Aj Agrawal. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, about why podcasting is the next marketing frontier. And the reason I'm doing this, and I have been doing this, is you want to try to do something obviously your competition isn't, right? Well, I came from a radio background. I don't know how many marketing firm owners did, but that's where I came from. And because of that, I had a desire to do something that I knew worked in radio and share that with my clients to help them be successful. And that is one of the main ones right here is doing podcasting interviews, because radio stations have done these for years. And way back, even before the web started, they'd record an interview or a radio ad, and we'd give them a tape for them to have, and they could play for their friends or whatever. But now, of course, with email, with the web, with digital platforms and digital technologies, you basically become your own radio station and can record your own content just like a radio ad or an interview. And radio stations would do that and put them on their website and tell listeners, hey, go to our website today to listen to the interview we had with Condoleezza Rice or whoever. Well, you can do that now for your business. That's one of the beauties of podcasting. And Aj says that 24% of Americans over age 12 now listen to podcasts on a monthly basis, and Statista Projects predicts by 2021 there will be more than 100 million podcast listeners in the U.S. alone. Okay, that's like 3 years from now. So 100, that's a third of the population. And the number of people already hooked on podcasts, coupled with its anticipated future growth, indicate that podcasts are quickly becoming a viable marketing channel. Okay, well, in my perspective, this has always been the case. It's an offshoot of radio. But in this case, because of the fact, now these aren't people listening to songs. These are people engaged in interview style or information style listening. Okay, kind of like a audio book, only this is information based. And what better way to share your expertise than in a podcast like this? And they've been gaining popularity fast, he says. And of course, one of the big reasons is the spread of smartphone mobile devices. Search engines are changing their algorithms. They're giving mobile a priority. It's making that alone more important forever for businesses to focus on optimizing for mobile platforms. And I'm sure you're going to hear that from search engine optimization people. You got to optimize for mobile, et cetera, et cetera. Well, guess what? Podcasting does that because people can access it on mobile. I use video podcasts because you can access that on your mobile device and stream it or download the video audio part and listen whenever you want to. I do it with video purposely to be able to put on YouTube as a video, because you can't put audio only on, because YouTube's a huge search engine which will help build links, listings, and rankings for your website or your blog. Again, which is getting you noticed online with a proven strategy. Okay, so these are some of the things he says. And he says the other reason podcasts are really becoming popular, besides being optimized for the mobile platform part, is people's lack of time. And in radio, that's always been the case. You do 30 or 60 seconds, and that's it. But if you do 15 minutes and you put it on a website, they can listen whenever they want to at their convenience. And isn't that what Netflix or Amazon Prime is doing in producing content? It's accessible 24/7 whenever we want it. And that's what's really great about all this. So most small business owners, they're going through this process of trying to find ideas for marketing. They've been given free website analysis and optimization. They bring the firm in. The firm overwhelms them with the idea and the cost of fixing these links, keywords, meta tags. You've done Google AdWords. You've done Facebook ads. There's just more expense building up, more hand-wringing. You've done email marketing campaigns, and this is all on top of perhaps direct mail, print ads, and maybe a newsletter or TV or radio, right? So you're sitting there scratching your head. Surely there's got to be a more cost-effective way, and there is. And that's podcasting is one element of that. And it's so much easier now, cheaper to produce. The equipment is much better quality. I use a really good Rode microphone that wasn't terribly expensive, but it sounds great. Matter of fact, I think it sounds better than a lot of professionals, big professionals on the air right now. So not hard to produce. It's just taking the time to do it, have the creativity to do it. And again, one reason podcasts are changing the market, Aj says in this post, is that content is king. Now, I've been saying that till I'm blue in the face, and you've probably been hearing that. But one good point he builds is, besides building brand recognition and trust among your prospects or your customers, is that it starts a conversation, not just a thought process like a written piece does. A podcast, you're engaged in a discussion. Did you hear what so-and-so said the other day? Oh, that just really upset me. Okay, as opposed to, I just read something that made me mad. I mean, it's just something about the voice and conversation. And it's so great to be able to get to that nerve and engage people emotionally. And the other thing I like, as far as we're talking about the cost, is when you invest in ongoing promotionable content that's mobile friendly, it's ongoing and you own that content from now on. And you can promote it and share it. That's the beauty of all this. You're your own radio station and you're hosting your own information and you're driving traffic to that information through subsequent ads, through digital, through direct mail, through all the other media in your marketing platform. And that's the beauty of this, is you own this content. It will build your brand impression and recognition like you're having a radio show, and that forms an impression. It's a great separator from your competitors. How do I know this? Because they're not doing this. How many businesses host their own podcasts and do them? Now, you say, well, I do some videos, and I've seen some businesses do videos, and that's great. That's rich media content, and I'm all for that. But break it up. Do a variety of things. That's why I do focus on animated videos and podcasting, video podcasting, because these are rich media content. It gives a variety of sources for your prospects to learn about you. It makes it entertaining and engaging. And this is really important. Matter of fact, CarPlay, Apple CarPlay, has podcast apps now that you can use of where all this is headed. And Ash goes on to say basically that there's no better time than the present to get into podcasting and start capitalizing on the marketing benefits in your marketing strategy. Now, he says part of that strategy is just to start the podcasting or hire someone to do this for you. And ideally, it would be weekly with quality equipment, with current, relevant, informational, high-quality content. It could be something, as we've mentioned before in other podcasts, it's in your industry you're talking about, or you're answering questions from your customers. That's what I like to do too. And host it on a relevant platform. I like to use video podcasts on YouTube because it's a huge search engine owned by Google, just as Google is, the Google AdWords and search directories. And you can also use Podomatic, I've used, which is strictly audio. But again, you can link it to your blog, which I do. And it all ties together to work within your, quote, marketing funnel and marketing platform. So it's entering the world of business and becoming a popular marketing strategy, not only because of its popularity already among consumers, but also because it's so easy to create podcasts and broadcast accessible content for your target audience. And again, it's a differentiator. It makes you stand out. It makes you unique. It gives you the opportunity to interview, to feature guest people, maybe other customers you've had, feature them about why they do business with you, what they like most. Maybe they just purchased some new item. This is something to talk about and how they are benefiting from it, and how prospects could, getting to hear from the horse's mouth, from the actual customer, things like that. Just think about radio. Think about what radio's done with interviews and podcasting programs, and how, if you get a good interview with someone or get a good topic, then it's hot. People share it. So podcasting, the next new marketing frontier, I think it's a great way to build your brand. It's one aspect of the marketing platform, not the totality of it, but everything. If you look at my infographic on the blog post, all of this works together to build your brand and your online presence. John Verlin12 at AT&T.net is my email. OnDemandAdvertisingSolutions.com is the website, and we'll talk to you again soon.